Hello everyone, welcome to another session on dollar INR. Today we are going to start with crude. Not really good news as far as rupee is concerned. We have seen crude rising again. Are aware of what's happening in the Middle East. It is not ending and it is just prolonging and continuing. As such, which had come down to 80, 81 is now back to 93, 94. Not a very good situation for the rupee. Okay, but let's come to see dollar INR, something very interesting happening. I will show you charts on dollar INR. One is this chart which is more zoomed in, which is very recent, months. Observe how these two lines are converging. Okay, so this is the peaks lower and even the lows are higher. So it is forming some kind of a symmetrical triangle. Okay, now symmetrical triangle can be very critical once the prices reaches either this region or this region. Breakouts of symmetrical triangles are big indicators of trend change. Okay, but that has not happened yet, but the triangle is forming and the prices are converging. Okay, but also remember at the same time we follow this blue line, okay, which is the 50-day average. Prices are slightly above the, okay, so very interesting chart, symmetrical triangle and prices slightly blue line that is getting indicated here. What is interesting is the other chart. Let me show you this chart. Okay, this is a longer term chart. Okay, and I bring a longer term chart here is to show volatility indicators. Okay, and I'm going to indicate two volatility indicators. Is the standard Bollinger Band, which the entire world follows. So we are looking at this red line, the green line, and the blue line. Okay, the blue line is the middle band, the red is the upper band, and green is the lower band. Okay, so if you look at the Bollinger Bands here, the latest number, the Bollinger Bands have converged, and that is getting reflected by something what we call as the width. If you see the bandwidth here, okay, if the bandwidth reaches the lowest level in 125 days, then that is what we call as a squeeze, a bandwidth squeeze. And what does a bandwidth squeeze indicate? It indicates extremely low volatility environment. Okay, so that is indicated by this squeeze, and we are seeing here the prices are in very small tiny ranges this entire 20-25 days. Okay, another interesting indicator is the average true range, the ATR, what we are looking at this chart here. So if you look at the ATR, this red line, it is way below here. If you see historical low level, ATR is close to that level which we had seen in December 24. Okay, the time the previous governor Shaktikanta Das time. Okay, so one of the volatility indicators have come to a level which was last seen in December 24. Okay, so two volatility indicators suggesting that the volatility is extremely low. The indicator what we follow is the blue line, and if you see the blue line, that is 20, and ADX below 20 indicates a non-trending environment. Okay, so why am I showing you all this is to tell you two things. First, it is an extremely low volatility environment, and second, it is a non-trending environment. Okay, so what do you do in this kind of situation? Remember one more thing, John Bollinger, who is the creator of Bollinger Bands, in his book had indicated that whenever the Bollinger Bands squeeze or whenever we see this kind of phenomena, that is usually a precursor to the start of a new trend. And whenever the squeeze happens, beyond that the volatility expands. You would have seen historical low periods here, here, periods after that the bands had widened, which means the volatility has expanded. So basically it is a squeeze now, the volatility will expand going ahead, and probably that will be the start of a new trend. Okay, so in this kind of environment, what do you do for exporters and importers? and I come back to the option premium chart. So if you look at the option premiums, this is at the money option premiums for 1, 2, 3, 4 months. We have been following this chart for quite a while. If you see option premiums in the entire year 2026, the option premiums are close to the lowest levels. So that is the recommendation to all dollar exporters and importers. Now the volatility is low, option premiums are very cheap. You should look at vanilla options to hedge your risk, both your receivables for dollar exporters and payables for dollar importers. Remember, volatility is low now. It is a precursor that volatility will increase in the future and probably the birth of a new trend. And the way it looks like, with crude such high levels, US yield such high levels, it is unlikely that rupee will gain too much. Probably the new trend is the start of a new level of rupee weakness, but that I cannot tell now, that only time will tell. But if you want to hedge your risk, please use vanilla options to hedge. Now is the best time. Okay, so that is it from my side. Have a great day ahead.